Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over two different emails sent from subscribers. These are two guys from different parts of the world that just so happen to be emailing me at the same time, dealing with the same problem. Both of them have a situation with their girl. One guy, it's his wife, and one guy, it's his girlfriend. Want to hang out with other dudes when these guys are not around. And as you can imagine, these guys aren't going for it, aren't very happy about it. The one guy, he's handling the situation like a boss with this girl who's his girlfriend. The other guy, he's trying to handle it as best he can and lay down the law with his wife, but it's not working out so well, and she's trying to find every sneaky trick to get around this and go hang out with this so-called friend and so on and so forth. And so I thought this was a very good one to go over here and make a video out of to respond to these guys' emails and so forth about that subject, because this is something that can come up a lot for you relationship type of guys, where your girl before you, whether you're married or your girlfriend, had guy friends, and she wants to still go hang out with them and all that. And in my opinion, if she's with you, particularly if you're actually married and she's your wife, she shouldn't be hanging out with other dudes. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're the number one guy in her life. You're number one. You come before her father. Okay? That's how it should be. That's how it once was. Okay? Unfortunately, the world has gone to hell in a handbasket, but this idea that she can be with you, but go hang out with other dudes, and oftentimes where there's social events and drinking and things like that, not a very good idea. And nowadays, when a guy says, hey, you're with me, you're hanging out, I'm the only guy you hang out with, immediately, oh, you don't trust me, and blah, 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 all that bullshit. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to respect. Okay? And if she truly loves you and she sees you as the king, she's not going to want to hang out with other dudes. Maybe if they were not straight, that's one thing. But if they're straight dudes and she's good looking, the odds are they're her orbiters who are just hoping they get a chance with her and hope maybe she drinks and makes some foolish mistakes or something like that. So the one guy, I'm rambling here, I'm going to get to the point here, but the first email I'm going to go over is the guy who's married. And he's having some trouble trying to convince her, and not convince her, but trying to lay down the law with her because he's overseas and she's here back in the States. And he wanted to know my opinion about that. And the second guy is dealing with a girlfriend. He's handling it like a boss, how he should handle it. And so you guys will see here. So it starts off from the first guy. He says, hi SSM. My wife has a male childhood friend that she wanted to go to a big city for New Year's with. I'm currently overseas and get back in a few months. Nope, I'm going to stop it right there. Not a good idea. Male childhood friend. I wasn't too comfortable with it since I never met him, and people typically get drunk and can make bad decisions while intoxicated. Exactly. How has she had this childhood friend and you married to her and you've never met him? If he's such a close, important friend, how is it that you never met? Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe this childhood friend was actually a childhood boyfriend, or who you never know. But no, she's your wife. She shouldn't be hanging out with another dude. And wait till you see as I read more of the situation here. I said that I wanted the details of what they were going to be doing to help put my mind at ease. You're not going to get a straight answer. She'd been watching the kids for about 9 months, and I was trying to be mindful of that. Dude, you've been away for 9 months? I wonder if this guy's in the military or something. She said they may stay a few days and they'll probably just walk around. They'll be doing more than that. I asked her where they would be staying. She said that he had suggested staying in the same hotel room to save money. Bullshit. And obviously this guy isn't buying this, but regardless, this is your husband. The complete lack of respect. I don't care if this was your childhood friend. It doesn't matter. She's married. She shouldn't be hanging out with other dudes, and obviously they're adults, so they're going to be drinking unless they are both don't drink, which I doubt. But staying in the same hotel room? No. Complete disrespect. I told her absolutely not, and that's inappropriate to even think about. Good. Good for you for standing your ground, but unfortunately you can only do so much given the fact that you're on the other side of the world and you haven't seen him for 9 months. But here's the thing. The fact that she wants to do this and doesn't care, that's a major red flag, dude. Then she had said an old friend of hers was going to drive to the city to hang out with them, bringing another guy that has had feelings for the friend for a long time. The female friend said that she wanted to get my wife drunk. I said I was uncomfortable with that whole situation now. Two guys that I don't know hanging out with my wife and the other friend getting her drunk. You're damn right it's a bad situation. And aside from the fact, I said at the beginning, like, oh, you don't trust me. Well, let's be honest. No, I don't. Not in today's world. Not in Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 world. 4 people, 2 guys, 2 girls, one of them being his wife, in the hotel room for a few days in the city, whatever that city, big city is, drinking, partying. No. You'd be out of your damn mind for going along with this. The female friend says she wanted to get my wife drunk, blah, blah, blah. I read that. She was dismissing my concerns, but ultimately canceled the trip. Of course she was dismissing it, but good, she canceled the trip. However, it doesn't stop there. She then asked if I was okay going to her parents' house for New Year's instead. I said of course, and asked her what her plans were then, and she said that she was going to be hanging out with her family. In the back of my mind, I figured that she was still wanting to hang out with the guy friend, since the original plan was to take the kids to the parents and then go with him to the other city. It says a lot if this guy, his gut feeling is to not 100% buy what she's saying. And that's really sad. That is unfortunate, because I know I got a lot of guys that watch me are married, and I don't want you to be, I honestly, for you guys that are watching me that are married, I don't want your marriage or your family life to be like these horrible stories that I read. I really don't. But you got to pay attention. If you can learn anything from these horrible stories these poor bastards have experienced, have gone through, is to pay attention for the red flags and to lay down the law when it needs to be laid down, and to be a man, be a leader, and all that. So this guy obviously has learned some things from watching my channel and probably plenty of other channels and stuff like that, to smell bullshit, to see red flags like this, and I'm glad he's acting upon it. But again, there's only so much he can do being out of the country, and he obviously can't come back yet, so probably military. But the fact that she keeps pushing on this says a lot. He says, my wife called me on the 30th saying that she might be going to another state with him to hang out with a girl that he has feelings for and might finally get that chance. So she canceled the city trip, but then I'm going to go to the family for New Year's, but I'm going to try something else to go hang out with this guy. Why is it so important that she has to hang out with this guy? There's a question there. I told her again, I don't think that's a good idea since you'll be there by yourself if they do end up hooking up. She again dismissed my concerns as nothing and said she was just going to support him. Bullshit. This is a grown-ass man. He can meet with this girl that he likes or she likes or whatever, and on his own. He's a grown-ass man. No. And if she's looking for, they've been apart for 9 months, and she's looking to have fun and hang out and get a break from the kids. Okay, it's one thing if she's hanging out with maybe another girlfriend that he knows, or maybe family, not with the kids. But this, why is she pushing this so hard? See, this guy knows something's up. This is why you got to lay down the law. This is why also that she's got to have respect for her guy. But I don't see respect here. Okay, it's more important for her to go hang out with this dude, and this whole ridiculous story about, oh, the other girl's going to be there, so no big deal. Sure. And then the hotel room thing, in the original plan of hers, no respect. I said, okay, just let me know what you end up doing, and she said she would. That was a mistake, bro. I realize that you feel like that, this is a battle you can't win, but no, you should not let that go. My wife put a tracker app on our phone so that we can know where each other were. I checked that on New Year's Eve since she never told me what she decided to do. She was at a house I wasn't familiar with, and I waited to hear from her. See? Right there. She said, okay, I'm going to go to she didn't go to the city, but I'm going to be with the family, but now she's at some other house that he doesn't know. She said, Happy New Year. I asked her who stayed up with her, and she said she and her mom stayed up and watched movies. So she lied. I don't think her mom came with her to the house. They don't know, unless it was a family friend throwing a party, which I doubt. She said that they were probably going to go to bed soon since it's getting late. After she woke up, I called her and asked her whose house she slept at. She said his house. There you go. She doing everything she can to hang out with this dude. I asked her if her mom was there as well, and she said that she was on the phone with her mom, and they were talking about the movie they were watching. So her mom wasn't there. She's alone with this dude at his house, and she was talking to the mom on the phone. She said that his parents were there as well. Like, that would make me feel any better. She said nothing happened. Well, of course she's going to say nothing happened. But I told her I didn't want her in the same hotel with him. Why would I be okay with her sleeping at his house? Sorry for the length, but I could really use some advice. I'm not sure what to think about our relationship anymore. Thanks in advance. Dude, something's up. If there's smoke, there's fire. Okay? She keeps pushing to hang out with this dude. And when the whole New Year's Eve thing didn't work out, going into the big city and staying in the same hotel room didn't work, then she tried the whole thing with, oh, another friend's going to come up. We're all going to be together. No, and you lay down the law there, so good, but then she found another way to hang out with this dude. Okay? No, something's up. If she truly loved you and you were the number one man in her life and she respected you, she wouldn't be pulling this shit. Something's up. So, my friend, you need to really lay down the law with her. And I get that you're overseas, you can't do much, but something's really up here, and you need to really take a good, serious look at your relationship, you know? And how many of these stories have I done where the guy's been away on business? Or if he was in the military overseas, and you guys know the kind of crap that went on behind the scenes. This is why it's so important that guys, if they're going to get married, which I don't recommend nowadays, or you're going to be in relationships, she needs to know that, you know, it's just you. You're not going to go hang out with other dudes and drinking and all that stuff behind the scenes, because if not, hey, you know what? Say, all right, then fine. You can go be with him, but we're done, because it's my way or the highway. Because you know darn well, given the Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 world that we're in, the type of shit that happens nowadays. It's unfortunate, but it has to be that way, you know? You gotta have respect, because I don't see you. It doesn't say anything here about you going to hang out with other women. If you were hanging out with other women, and they were good looking, and there was drinking involved, do you think she'd like that very much? I think not, unless that would give her a pass to go hang out with this dude, this so-called childhood friend. But I think something's up. But a lot of these stories about the gal wants to go hang out with the guys. Well, you don't see the guys wanting to go hang out with other girls. And I guarantee they have a problem with it, especially if she was good looking. So it's different when the situation is reversed. So something's up. You definitely need to investigate, bro. I wish you the best, but just you got to lay down the law. Now, on to another story about this guy. This is another guy with a situation like this, except this is with a girlfriend. And this guy, he handles this like a boss from the get-go, which you have to do from the get-go, guys. He says, hello, SSM. I hope you're doing fine. I'm doing more than fine. It's a great day. I'm writing you this email in a way to say thank you for putting out the content that helps men like me better understand women, the world around them, and relationships. I'm 24 years old currently, and I'm currently in a relationship with a 22-year-old lady. And then he says in parentheses, I know you already disapprove of ha-ha. No, actually, that's a misconception. I get that a big chunk of my viewers here are relationship guys. Either you are in one now, or you were in one before, or you will be in one day, and you want that. Okay, and you're here to learn things, to help yourself improve, things to watch out for, that type of stuff. I got a problem if you want to do relationships. I got a problem is when guys make their girl the end-all be-all of their existence. They make her their purpose. Instead of focusing on their goals and making their lives better in terms of whatever goals or ambitions they have, they make her the goal. They make her the purpose and put her on the pedestal. And what happens is that they end up getting treated like crap, disrespected, and a lot of the crap that you hear about in my stories. That's what I have a problem with. You guys should make your purpose, whatever goals you have in life, whatever you want to do to make your life better, to be successful at, that should be number one. Then, honestly, your health, the gym, and all that, number two. Then your buddies, your bros, number three. Then family, tying with 3 and 4. As number 4, tying with 3. Then women. Or I'm sure there's other shit you can throw in there. Your dog, your cat, your musical instrument, whatever. Then your girl. The problem I have is when the guys make the gal number 1. It's a big mistake. Because when you make her number 1, believe me, it's interesting that all of a sudden you're not number 1 with her. So, but if you're 24 years old, if you're with her and you're having a good time, okay, cool. But I don't want to hear that you're spending multiple days a week with her. I want to hear maybe once a week, occasionally maybe twice a week. But the other 6 days of the week, you're on your grind. You're on your purpose. Because what you do right now at 24 years old and in your 20s is going to pretty much set the course for the rest of your life. So you should be busting your butt to make money, save money, improve yourself, get a better job, start a business, whatever the hell it is. and she's dead last in the priorities. That's all. I know I went on for like 3 minutes about this subject, guys, but I got to make that clear. Okay, anyway. He says, she is the kind of girl that you find once in a thousand because she's so used to live. She's the kind of girl you find 1 in 1,000. So it sounds like already you're putting her on a pedestal. Be careful, dude. Because once you start doing that, then you start getting pee-whipped, and you start doing the shit I tell you not to do. Because she's used to living a simple life, literally excluded from society. This is in Latin America. She lives 10 minutes away from the nearest small pueblo and was not as attractive when she was going to school. Oh, as active when she was going to school. Okay. So she is literally socially undeveloped regarding parties. I know I stopped her from turning into an average modern gal who rides the carousel. Her first S-word experience was on Tinder. Well, there's a red flag, my friend. Tinder's a cesspool. Before me, and it was so awful, she just left it alone. A couple months passed, and we matched it and hit off right away. So you met her on Tinder. Okay, I know you think she's 1 in 1,000 and all these other things, but just be careful, my friend. It says, also, due to our specific country, she's been going to college online for 2 out of 3 years, and the on year, she was in non-online classes. She didn't have friends and would just do nothing like clubbing or hanging out, etc. Well, if she doesn't have any friends, that concerns me a little because those types end up becoming so needy that you become the end-all be-all of their existence, and they could become potentially crazy needy and stalkers. So just be careful. She's got to have some friends, okay? I mean, come on here. But I'm glad she's not into clubbing and all that type of stuff. That's good. Now that I had a relationship with a woman that I didn't have to feel ashamed of her past, and she actually has values, I try to keep it as sane and healthy as possible. We've been together for 1 year, and a situation that had not discussed presented. A guy gay friend she had is throwing a birthday party next week, and she told me he rented an Airbnb with a pool to stay over. Mine, this is out of town, and I'm overseas visiting family. You can see where this is going. So she wants to go to this thing where there's going to be other people, other dudes, and drinking, and he is away. Now listen to see how he handles this. As soon as I learned that maybe only one girlfriend was going with her, and maybe she'd have to share the house with 8 strangers, including men, straight men, I told her immediately that she would not be going. Thinking you're toxic for telling her this came to mind. And if it wasn't for you and the experiences you shed light on, I would have bent over and said nothing. Instead, I just understood that I have value and that staying over where there are other men she doesn't know is a boundary that she will never step if she wants to date me. Good, you're laying down the law. And notice he says, I'm a man of value. And so I know that, hey, if you're going to do this, fine, but we're done. Or if you want to be with me, these are certain things you're not going to do. End of story. And I'm sure this dude is going to hang out with other chicks. I don't have any doubt on her, but alcohol will be present, and I know better not to trust any random guy to not get with my girlfriend, even though the 3 men staying there are supposedly not straight. But there are straight guys. She was reluctant at first because he is one of her only 4 friends, and she actually doesn't go out clubbing, partying, or anything, but I told her that if she went there, to have an awesome time and never message me again. Damn, dude, you are the boss. You're laying it down. You have a take it or leave it attitude. Hey, okay, you can go do that, but we're done. Because you obviously know, as you said, you have high value, and you can replace her. That's the way to be. After that, she thought it through and agreed that she is not going. It is not much, but hearing little things like this, where you put your foot down, give inexperienced men the self-respect to not tolerate that BS. Because I do believe your partner should not put you through said situation, as I would definitely not do it to her. Right, you're not hanging out with other women. You're not going out to some party and spending the night there with a bunch of single, good-looking girls with alcohol going on. You're not doing that. And you're not hanging out with other girls. You're laying down the law. You are, you're practicing what you preach. You don't want her hanging out with other dudes. You don't want her to be away because you've been with her for a year. So, okay, you're serious. You've been good to her. You don't want her over there with a bunch of dudes where things can happen. And when alcohol gets involved, that's when usually hell goes in a handbasket. And that's always blamed for people's actions. He says, if I was staying over at a party where there were a bunch of unknown drunk women, maybe even sharing a room with me, it would be insane, right? See? And she'd be upset about that and have a good reason to be upset about that. And lastly, putting your foot down, even when it might be seen as controlling or toxic, definitely didn't matter, and she saw how someone who values himself should act with a said situation. A hard no or get the F out. Right. This is the attitude you got to have, guys, and you do it in a way that's not mean. For your relationship, guys, because I've been in enough relationships to know this, if you're laying down the law, you can't be a jerk about it. You can be kind about it, but you're firm, okay? But see where the I can walk away at any time attitude comes into play here? She went along with this. Now, is there any guarantee that she's not going to just say this and go sneak out anyway and go do it? No, there are no guarantees. But if she did, I guarantee this guy would be like, see ya. Have a nice life. I'm going to go find somebody better looking than you and younger than you. If you want to use this story for maybe a future video, I just want to tell young men in their first relationships, do not put up with shit like this. Correct. If you let it slip for the first time, it will only downward spiral into them thinking they can do whatever they want. And if a boundary that is understandable cannot be respected, they will not respect more important things later. Have a good day, my friend. Yes. So he's starting off his relationship here on the right foot. The guy in the story in the beginning, probably he let things slide early on. I don't know, but maybe. Hence, this is why in the first story, his wife was acting like this and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it to hang out with a dude, finding a different way to hang out with him. And obviously, a lot of BS about New Year's Eve because she was with that dude at his house. But this guy is laying on the law from the get-go. This is what it's going to be with me. If you want to go hang out with other guy friends and have sleepovers and parties and stuff like that when I'm out there, okay, you can do that, but we're not going to be together. End of story. It's not being mean. It's not being a jerk. It's just being firm and assertive and laying on the law. And you got to do that from the get-go in the beginning, because if you let things slide in the beginning, that's just going to set the course for things that are going to go in the relationship. Okay? Best to nip these things in the bud right away. So you got two different stories, but very similar situations. One guy, unfortunately, because obviously probably shit slid when they were younger, that's what you have. But this guy laying down the law right away, and here we go. So I wish both these guys the best. To the guy who wrote the first story, again, to me, where there's smoke, there's fire. Something's up. You got to lay down the law. And I know you're overseas, so there's almost so much you can do. But when you get back, I would definitely reevaluate your situation. Because if she truly loved you, she won't even pulling this shit. Not at all. And I don't know how old you are. I don't know the circumstances, but it's not worth it being disrespected like that. And the other guy, good job. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a good role model. Your story will help show guys by laying down the law and not being a jerk about it what it can do. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Guys, let me know if you've had situations where you have laid down the law like this in a kind and not mean way and the impact it had. And guys, let me know what happened when you didn't lay down the law and what happened. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.